daily writing task is to write a letter of advice to Mr. and Mrs. Johansson regarding their son, Mr. Sammy Johansson, who was diagnosed with distal radius fracture while he was admitted at Melbourne City Hospital, where you are his nurse. Let us look into the case note first. If we look into the case note in detail, we can see that there are two dates given, which is the admission date and the discharge date. Here, the admission date is irrelevant and not to be mentioned in the letter, but you have to mention the discharge date in the introduction paragraph of the letter. The date of the letter will be today's date since it is specifically given in the case note and it is essential to know when the service should be provided. The name and date of birth of the patient are important and has to be mentioned in the reference part of the letter. Since this letter is written to the patient's parents, you can avoid the social and medical history from the case note since they already know this information. All the information provided in the treatment part are important and has to be mentioned in the letter. The advice part in the case note is of utmost importance and should be emphasized in the letter with importance because the case note specifically says this is an advice letter. Therefore, all the information mentioned here are important and has to be mentioned in the letter. However, you should try to frame the letter in an organized manner so as to maintain the continuity of the letter. Taking all these points, we have to prepare a letter in an organized manner. Now let us see how we can write a letter with the help of a sample letter written by a candidate from India. The address and date written are correct, but while writing the date, it is much better to write the date in two-digit format, that is 03 November, 2015. The salutation written is correct, but since the name is specified in the case note, it is better to use the name in the letter. The reference written is not that perfect. First of all, the title master is missing in the reference, and second, it would be better if you could write the reference in one single line like RE Sammy Johansson, 09 years. Moving to the introduction paragraph, I hereby refer for you further care and management of your son, Master Sammy Johansson, who underwent a medical treatment for distal radius fracture and is scheduled to be discharged today to his home. Here, this introduction seems like requesting a special kind of service from some other agency, but here you are writing to provide guidance on wound management of their son. We can rewrite the introduction like, I am writing to provide guidance and management for your son who is progressing from distal radius fracture and will be discharged today. Moving to the second paragraph, with respect to his medical history, Master Sammy Johansson is recuperating well from post-distal radius fracture and plaster cast has been applied on the injured part. Furthermore, as a child may feel pain for several days, he has been advised to take prescribed medication for initial days with caution. An overdose may lead to addiction and it is harmful for the child, which is not that impressive. Here, you don't have to mention the patient's medical history to his parents as they already know about it. And instead, here you should mention about his present condition. Here the candidate has used the connective furthermore, which is not recommended. This paragraph fails to deliver the information in a concise manner and as said before, it is not that impressive. Moving to the last paragraph, upon discharge, the child needs to be encouraged to do light physical exercise as advised to improve mobility of injured hand and other parts of the body. Additionally, he can resume light activities like swimming after the cast is removed within a couple of months, but rigorous activities to be done after full recovery, which may take another 3 to 6 months. To note, it is strongly recommended that the plastic cast needs to be covered with plastic sheet while taking shower. If in case it got wet, then dry it with hair dryer. In addition, please follow up with X-ray which needs to be done after 3 weeks. Here, the information given are relevant but not presented in a proper way. The paragraph is lengthy and has used a lot of connectives. The candidate could have broken this paragraph into two. Coming to the wind-up sentence, you have to mention the name of the patient along with the sentence. Then it becomes, if you need any further information regarding Master Sammy Johansson, please do not hesitate to contact me. The sign-off written is correct. Overall, this is a semi-impressive letter and can hardly score 250. Thank you.
New method for OET learning. How are you preparing? Online or offline? For speaking and writing, you can get tutor reviews. How will you be able to manage your reading and listening? How can you manage your self-practice easier than ever before? Learn OET in Merlin's way. Most successful OET learning method from world's best online trainer. Chat now. mentormerlinexam.com